Okay, so you have two types of prism mounting. One is a refractive type, second one is a litro type or a reflective type. Okay, the second type of thing is called as diffraction grating. Okay, so diffraction grating already பார்த்துட்டோம். Diffraction grating ன்றது basically என்னன்னா ஒரு surfaceல there will be multiple lines, grooves. Multiple grooves will be there. So light அதில் பட்டு diffract ஆகும். Light will get unmute பண்ணீங்கப்பா. Okay, light பட்டு diffract ஆகும்.
Sir, screen share ஆகல sir.
ஸ்கேர் ஆகல, மகிழ்ச்சி. Is it now? Yeah.
Yes sir.
Wait a minute. I'll just stop setting. Okay. So this is your diffraction grating. So you have multiple grooves. Okay. You have multiple grooves on a single. இதுல வந்து ஒரு டிபிக்கலா பாத்தீங்கன்னா 1 இன்ச்சுக்கு there will be some 15,000 to 30,000 lines. 15,000 to 30,000 lines grooves will be there. Okay, grooves na கோடு கோடா பார்ட்டிஷன் போட்டுப்பாங்க. Okay, you have seen a diffraction grating, right? So இதுல பட்டு லைட் பட்டு டைஃப்ராக்ட் ஆகுது. Okay, light பட்டு டைஃப்ராக்ட் ஆகுது. So that actually reinforces as your output. That's your diffraction grating. So diffraction grating prism மாதிரியே தான். It will be mounted on a table and it will be rotated to get your output. Okay, so this is how your actual setup will look like. So you have an entrance slit. It passes on the mirror, and this is a focusing mirror. This is a focusing mirror. You can even just think of it as a collimator. You can just think it as a collimator. This is also a collimator, which is going to focus the light. Going to focus the light, and this is your reflection grating, which is mounted on a rotating table. This reflection grating is mounted on a rotating table. As it rotates, you'll be able to get different outputs via the exit slit. Fine, that's it. Okay, here we actually compare prism as well as the grating. We are comparing the prism as well as grating. Okay, so what construction is made up of? Prism is made up of mostly glass. Okay, but for UV region you have to make it of quartz. Okay, so to get the UV output. Okay, for normal visible region you have glass. Okay, now I have a question for you, whether prism or prism, whether it needs to be in triangle shape only. Can just type in the chat window whether the prism needs to be as a triangular shape only. Is it required prism to be having a triangular shape? Ganesh, yes sir. Two sides polished, one side opaque. Okay. Okay, so the correct answer is no. It need not be a triangle. It can be a square, it can be any shape. Okay, it can be any shape. Okay, prism can be of any shape. In general, a prism is called as polyhedron. That's what Punshidi told in a different manner. It is called as polyhedron. Poly means multiple, hedron means face. Okay, so polyhedron means multiple flat faces. multiple flat faces. A prism has multiple flat faces. Okay, that's called as a polyhedron. A prism is polyhedron. Now tell me whether a cylinder is polyhedron. Whether a cylinder is polyhedron. I said prism is a polyhedron. Whether, okay, no, good. So your, because it does not have a flat surface, it has a round surface. Okay, that's why it is not a polyhedron. A prism is a polyhedron. Okay, whereas your cylinder is not polyhedron. It has multiple face, but it should be flat. Then only it is called as polyhedron. Okay, fine. So your prisms are made up of glass mostly. For UV region, it is used for quartz or fused silica. And here in this case, it is grooved on a highly polished surface like aluminum. Okay, that's the making of the prism and grating. And prism depends upon the angle of incident. Okay, and here it depends upon the law of diffraction. For our diffraction grating, it depends upon the law of diffraction. Okay, so most accurate would be diffraction grating. Most accurate will be diffraction grating, but in spite of it, one particular disadvantage of prism is it cannot be used over a considerable wavelength range. It can't be used for different wavelength range. Okay, but that is advantage here. Fine. And but problem is, since it covers a wide range, it has a linear dispersion, hence there will be overlap of spectral signature. It will be overlap of spectral orders. That will not be so here in your prism. Prism, it will be very clear cut. Even though it has a non-linear dispersion, it has a very clear cut output. Okay, so this is a diffraction as well as red. Okay, so our prism, this is a grating, this is a prism. So that's the comparison between a prism and a grating. Okay, we'll have a small quiz now. Okay, we'll have a small quiz. What I want you to do is open your Nearpod. Open your Nearpod. Open your nearpod.com. Okay, just type in this code. Use this code MRZQF. Use this code MRZQF. Use the code MRZQF. I'll just type it in MRZQF. Go to open Nearpod app. See, when you are in Google Meet, you can just go to your desktop. That is the advantage of Google Meet. அதெல்லாம் உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் ஆல்ரெடி, ஏன்னா அதான் பண்ணுவீங்க நீங்க. பட் இருந்தாலும் நான் சொல்றேன், Nearpod ஓபன் பண்ணீங்க. Nearpod குள்ளார you give MRZQF the code. Give the MRZQF code. Okay. So far Ganesh, Jayashree, Madhunisha, Punshri, Tivish, are there others? Where are the others? Okay, people are coming in. Fine. So your test is ready. Okay. Okay, where is it? Okay, you have a quiz. Are you people ready? Yes, sir. Good. Start attempting the quiz. Tivish is ready here. Okay, all are ready. Ganesh is there, Naveen is there, Aruna Devi, Jayashree, Balamurugan. Okay, Madhunisha, Sandosh. Okay, your thing starts now. 11 players are connected. Okay, others, 12. I'll give a start once it reaches 20. Make it fast. 13 connected. Bonish is there. Okay, Sai Kumar is there. Okay, Prashant is there. 17 connected. 18. Haripriya is here. Yashwant is here. 19. Okay. I want every one of you to join. It's not only for 20 members. Okay, 20 are here. I'll just start. Start attempting your quiz. It's time to quiz. I'll see who is going to lead. Ganesh is in the top now. You have 20 seconds for a question actually. Okay, Kanjana is leading now. Here you have the third question. Okay, third question is ended. Again, Ganesh has got up. So Jayashree is also catching up. Mushab is also catching up. Ganesh is leading. Okay. Okay. Okay, fine. Ganesh is again leading. Well, the last round. Ganesh is in the first place. Kanjana is second place. Jayashree in third place. Okay. Fine, you can just come back to the Google Meet. எடுக்காதவங்க பரவாயில்ல, I'll again give you an option. Okay. Okay. So was it nice? Did you people enjoy it? Okay. So the problem is at a time maximum 40 members can accommodate, and second thing, I have to ensure that all the 40 members are there before I give the start the activity. Then only all the 40 members can answer at the same time. Okay, fine. So next quiz will have it timed properly. Fine. Okay. So we'll move on. So you got an idea about the different things we have seen. Okay. So we'll continue with our presentation. Sorry. Okay. So we have seen the light sources. We have seen the discriminator. The last part is the detector. The last part is the detector. Okay. So you have all photo related detectors we can use, because so the other name for actually this UV visible spectrometry is also called as colorimetry. The other name for UV visible spectrometry, full put together, you call it as colorimetry. Okay. Why it's called as colorimetry? Just type in your chat why it's called colorimetry. Why it is called colorimetry? எல்லாம் அன்மியூட் பண்ணி சொல்லுங்க, எதுவா இருந்தாலும் ஓகே தான். Why it's called colorimetry? என்ன பையெல்லாம் தூங்கிட்டீங்களா அதுக்குள்ளார? Okay, deals with different colors in a spectrum. Okay. Then some more answers I want. Visible light. Okay. சிவசங்கர் இருக்கானா இல்லைங்க? சிவசங்கர் பதில், ஷாலினி பதில், அப்புறம் யாரு, நவீன் குமார், நவீன் குமார் வி, எங்கிருந்தாலும் உடனே chat விண்டோக்கு வருவோம். நவீன் குமார், find the concentration of colored sample. Very good, Prakash Raj. நவீன் குமார் மியூட் பண்ணிட்டு வெளில போயிருந்தீங்கன்னா திருப்பி வந்துட்டு இதுல chat விண்டோல டைப் பண்ணுங்க. ராஜலக்ஷ்மி இருக்காங்களா? ஆன்சர்ஸ் in the chat window. ஆல்ரெடி இருக்கிற ஆன்சரை காப்பி பண்ணி பேஸ்ட் பண்ணுங்க பாப்போம். நிஷாந்த், measure the absorbance of a specific wavelength of light in a solution. Great, very good. நிஷாந்த் இருக்காராங்க? யஷ்வந்த், யஷ்வந்த் கேம் விளையாடினாரு. சீக்கிரம் டைப் பண்ணுங்க chat விண்டோல. கணேஷ் குமார், என்னப்பா யாருமே டைப் பண்ண மாட்டீங்க? முத்து பிரபா டைப் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. வெரி குட். Measure amount of heat. Okay. In general, it's called color related, to measure the concentration of substance which are color related. So it because of the chromophores. நம்ம இதில் மெஷர் பண்றது எல்லாமே யூ கால் இட் அஸ் chromophores. So that color bearing you call it as colorimeter. Okay. Meter means measurement. Fine. Okay. So we'll see the most common type of photo detectors. For first one is a photo emissive cell. Photo emissive cell. The name is given here. Photo emissive cell. Okay. So you have a cathode, emitter as well as a collector. Okay. So when light falls on this emitter, what happens? When light falls on the emitter, Santosh kuduthirukkaru, Kanjana kuduthirukanga, Vadana kuduthirukanga. Okay, very good, nice. Okay, when light falls on the emitter, what happens? நினைச்சதை எல்லாம் டைப் பண்ணிட்டாங்க சார். அதான் வேணும் நமக்கு. நினைச்சதெல்லாம் டைப் பண்ணணும், அதான் எனக்கு வேணுமே. ஓகே. What will happen when light falls on the emitter? It emits. Electrons are emitted. Good. Electrons are emitted. Can you tell what is the kind of material it is made up of? For light to light வாங்கி electrons emit பண்ணனும்னா okay, photoelectric is a broad thing. You can just specify. Yes, it's photoelectric, of course. I want the specific material, not mercury. Which is that used in your TV? TV லாம் எது யூஸ் பண்றாங்க? Almost similar. Or those who have studied biomedical X-ray monitor யூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடிய X-ray யூஸ் பண்றது zinc, not copper, no. So the correct answer is okay, partially okay, silicon. It's cesium oxide. Cesium oxide. Okay. So this is the most commonly used for emitter. So it absorbs light and it emits electrons. Okay. These electrons are collected by this collector, which will constitute a current. That current, proportional to the current, here you have your deflection meter, which is going to deflect according to that current. That's a simple working of a photo emissive cell. Okay. So this is how your photo emissive cell looks in reality. This is how your photo emissive cell looks in reality. You have the collector as well as the emitter. This is your big plate of emitter, and you will have a small line of collector. Okay. This is how your thing looks. Okay. This is the first common time, but it has very less what to say, accurate sensitivity. So output will be very less in a normal photo emissive cell. To increase the output, normally people would prefer to go for a PMT. This is called as a PMT. What is the expansion of PMT? Expansion of PMT. PMT expansion. Photo multiplier tube. Correct? It's called as photo multiplier tube. Photo multiplier tube. Okay. What you have here, the first part of your photo multiplier tube is called as scintillator. What is a scintillator? What do you mean by scintillation? What do you mean by scintillation? To scintillate அப்படினா என்ன அர்த்தம்? What do you mean by scintillate or scintillator? What? flash good, flash to glow. That's all called as scintillation, scintillate. To glow is called as to scintillate. That's a normal term. Okay, so scintillator is a thing which will convert your energy photons. Okay, so it will excite your high energy photon, and that is, it will first convert your light into photons. It will convert your light into photons. The elements that are present inside the scintillator, again your similar element, you'll have cesium and other things, magnesium oxides. This material which is made up of scintillator, it will absorb this radiation, and the atoms in this material will excite to grow higher energy states. All the atoms will absorb this energy and it will get excited to high energy states. When they come back, they will emit as output will be in the form of they'll absorb this light and they'll give photons of energy. These photons of energy, okay, you have a photon focusing. Okay, so this light energy absorb panni, it will actually give you a light output. That is, in your normal photoemissive cell, you get only the light output on the electrons maati and the electrons measure பண்றீங்க அவ்வளவுதான். But இங்க you need to intensify it. So for that, what we do is that first light energy absorb panni, it will give out, it will intensified photons கொடுக்கும், and the photons absorb panni, this will photocathode will give you electrons. These electrons are focused and they are amplified. These are all called as diodes. ஒவ்வொன்றுலயும் வந்து voltage level அதிகமாயினே இருக்கும். You'll have higher voltage levels. So because of that, it will be bounced several times. Because of that, its output energy will be increased multiple times. Okay, so you can I have just passed on a link in your Google Classroom. Okay, what happens if you increase the gain? Did you just see it? I'll just open the Google Classroom. Probably I couldn't see it because of that is linked with another account. I'll just open it. Okay, our A 2020. So yesterday I posted some materials for instrumentation of UV visible spectroscopy. Okay. Okay. So this actually tells you how this photo multiplier tube actually works. Okay. So it multiplies the output. See, initially, if you have the same voltage in all the diodes, you will not have any output at all. It will be almost equivalent to that of your photoemissive cell. It will be almost equivalent to that of your photoemissive cell. Now, if I increase the gain, that is, you have a difference in voltage between the, okay, see, it gets multiplied. That's what you are doing. You're doing a light amplification. Okay. Just go through this content. It will be very interesting. Okay. So that's how your photo multiplier tube works. Okay. So we have seen the different components of your UV visible spectrometer. You have seen the light source. We have seen the discriminator. We have seen sample. We have not touched up. Already I told you about the sample and the contents. You call it as a cuvette. You have in the cuvette you have the sample with the solvent. What are the types of solvent it can be used? That also we have seen. Again, you will have a discriminator and you have a detector. Now we'll see the complete block diagram of your UV visible spectrometer. This is your UV visible spectrometer. Okay, I've given a very simple block diagram, so it will be very easy for you to understand the concept. Okay, you have the light source. So for UV it is deuterium. For visible it is tungsten halogen lamp. Tungsten halogen lamp. Okay, so you have a wavelength selector. Okay, for simple applications this wavelength selector can be a simple optical filter, which can be absorption filter or an interference filter. For real-time industrial applications, this wavelength selector is either a prism or a diffraction grating. Okay, then this is your photo detector. Either you can go for a photo emissive cell, or the most preferred one is PMT. Most preferred one is PMT, photomultiplier tube. Okay, and the output is amplified and you will have an output device. Suppose if it is connected to a PC, you will have a readout. Okay, so in the PC you can just see the output. Okay, so wherever you have the maximum, that corresponds to the maximum absorption. So from the value your computer will have the database enna lambda maths for whatever the materials. So from that it will interpret what is the material. Okay, that's what it does. So what you do in a single beam, why it's called as single beam is, first you have to do the calibration part. So you'll take the reference first. First you'll use the reference. Normal reference enna mean பண்றாங்கன்னா only the solvent in the cuvette. வெறும் solvent மட்டும் cuvetteல வச்சு they will measure the output. Okay, so that will be the background information. Cuvette குள்ளார only solvent மட்டும் வச்சு measure பண்ணாங்கன்னா that will be the reference output. Okay, then they'll use the sample and solvent. So reference எடுத்துட்டு sample and solvent வச்சிருவாங்க. Sample and solvent mix பண்ணதை cuvette வைப்பாங்க அதே பாத்துல. They will take the recording. So if you do a ratio analysis, you will get what is the amount of sample that is present. The background will be eliminated, and it's called as digital subtraction. This is called as digital subtraction, and you will be able to get the output. That's how your single beam UV visible spectrometer. அப்ப UV visible spectrometer னு உங்களுக்கு क्वेश्चन எக்ஸாம்ல கேட்டாங்கன்னா நீங்க என்னன்னா சொல்லணும்னா இந்த பிளாக் டயக்ராம் வரைஞ்சிடணும். வரைஞ்சிட்டு லைட் சோர்சஸ் என்னென்ன இருக்கு, UV இருக்கு, யூவிக்கு வந்து டிட்டூரியம் இருக்கு, ஹைட்ரஜன் இருக்கு, எது அதிகமா அவுட்புட் வரும், என்னென்ன மெத்தட்ஸ், விசிபிளுக்கு என்னென்ன இருக்கு அவுட்புட் கொடுக்கறது, ஹைட்ரஜன் லேம்ப், டங்ஸ்டன் ஹாலோஜன் லேம்ப், அப்புறம் ஜெனான் கூட சொல்லலாம், லேசர் சோர்சஸ் ஜென்ரலா மென்ஷன் பண்ணிட்டேன். யூ எக்ஸ்பிளைன் அபவுட் தி சோர்சஸ். அப்புறம் வேவ்லென்த் செலக்டர். அங்க ஆப்டிகல் ஃபில்டர் பத்தி சொல்ல வேண்டியதில்லை. ஆப்டிகல் ஃபில்டர் பத்தி தனியா கொஸ்டின் கேட்டா மட்டும் ஆப்டிகல் ஃபில்டர் பத்தி எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணுங்க. பட் நார்மல் அப்ளிகேஷன்ல ஆப்டிகல் ஃபில்டர் வராது. ஸோ எக்ஸ்பிளைன் அபவுட் பிரிசம், டைஃப்ராக்ஷன் கிரேட்டிங். பிரிசம்ல எப்படி ரிஃப்ராக்ஷன் நடக்குது, அதோட மவுண்டிங் டைப் என்ன, டைஃப்ராக்ஷன் கிரேட்டிங்ல எப்படி நடக்குது. ஓகே, அடுத்தது நீங்க சொல்ல வேண்டியது சாம்பிள். சாம்பிள் எப்படி எடுத்துக்கணும். சாம்பிள் லிக்விட்ல நார்மல் லிக்விடாவும் இருக்கலாம், கேஸாவும் இருக்கலாம். சாம்பிள ஒரு சால்வெண்ட்ல நார்மலா மிக்ஸ் பண்ணுவோம். சால்வெண்டோட நேச்சர் என்ன, சால்வெண்ட் வந்து should not absorb your UV visible radiation. ஓகே, சால்வெண்டோட நேச்சர் என்ன அப்படின்றத சொல்லணும். அதுக்கப்புறம் போட்டோ டிடெக்டர், என்னென்ன டிடெக்டர்ஸ் இருக்கு, ஒரு ஏதாவது ஒரு டைப் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணா போதும். எல்லாத்துலயுமே என்னென்னு லிஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டு ஒரு டைப் மட்டும் டீட்டெயிலா எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணா கூட போதும். ஓகே, திஸ் இஸ் a சிங்கிள் பீம் UV visible spectrometer. இப்போ இதுல என்னன்னா ஒரு டைமும் நம்ம மெஷர்மெண்ட் எடுக்கும்போது ரெஃபரன்ஸ் தனியா வச்சு எடுக்கணும் ஒரு தடவை, அதுக்கப்புறம் சாம்பிள் வச்சு ஒரு தடவை எடுக்கணும். இந்த ப்ராப்ளத்தை ரெக்டிஃபை பண்றதுக்கு யூ ஹேவ் டபுள் பீம் UV visible spectrometer. That's your second part. Okay, so you have double beam UV visible spectrometer. In your double beam UV visible spectrometer என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னா இந்த இடத்துல இந்த பார்ட் மட்டும் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா. This is the new part. Okay, so what happens here, இந்த இடத்துல இந்த வேவ்லென்த் செலக்டர்ல இருந்து வர அவுட்புட்டை you are actually splitting up. You'll use something called as beam splitter. This is your beam splitter. Okay. Anyone remember Michelson's interferometer? Michelson interferometer remembering? அதில் வந்து இந்த மாதிரி beam splitter வரும். Anyway, we'll see it again in our FTIR spectrometer. So it's called as a beam splitter, which splits the beam into two parts. Okay. So one will pass through the reference, one will pass through the sample. So ரெண்டுத்துல outputயும் வச்சு ratio எடுத்து finally they'll get the output. So in this case, you don't require a separate reference and sample. I mean, இது தனித்தனியா பண்ண தேவையில்லை, ஒரே டைம்ல ஒரே ஸ்ட்ரோக்ல எடுத்துடலாம். I showed a video a couple of classes before, I think so. In that, I actually showed you a double beam UV visible spectrometer. Okay. So price wise, you see single beam is low, double beam is high. Construction is again, single beam is simple, double beam is a bit complicated. But measurement wise, if you see, double beam has good time stability, whereas single beam has a poor time stability. That's the difference. I think I have 1 minute more. Okay. I'll just complete. It's almost end of it. This is an high performance spectrometer. It is not in your syllabus, just for information. This is called as an high performance spectrometer. ஒன்னும் இல்லை, இதுல வந்து they'll use multiple diffraction gratings. Single diffraction grating use பண்ணும்போது you will not be able to achieve much higher accuracy. To get a high performance output, they'll use, see, this is a single monochromator spectrometer. You can see here, this is a single monochromator spectrometer. That's your normal spectrometer, where you have a monochromator, you have a detector, you have a sample. Okay. This is single monochromator. If you use double monochromators, more than one, you'll be able to achieve better level of wavelength separation, and you'll be able to get a very good output. Okay. You'll be able to discretize between different wavelengths. So that type of thing is called as high performance spectrometer. It's a name because of more than one monochromator is used. See, multiple diffraction grating will be available. So that way you'll be able to get better performance. It's called as high performance spectrometer. So I'm just concentrating only on the quantitative applications here. So it is used for analytical determination of any metals and non-metals. See, when we discussed about UV visible origin, we saw it can be used with organic, it can be used with inorganic. Organic la main வந்து N to pi star and pi to pi star. அதுலயும் pi to pi star தான் ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ராங்கா இருக்கும்னு சொன்னேன். இன்ஆர்கானிக்ல வந்து D to D transitions and F to F transition. Third type நம்ம என்ன பார்த்தோம்னா charge transfer complex. Charge transfer complex. சிலது வந்து by default வந்து UV visible absorb பண்ணாது. Okay, they will not absorb UV visible, but when two species join together, they call it as charge transfer complex. Then they will be able to absorb UV visible. So organic determination of metals, or analytical determination of organic compounds. Similarly, dissociation constants of organic acids and dyes. Dyes ellame color. See the color factor. Okay. So metal ligand formation constants, that is about your charge transfer complex. Then kinetic stability of complexes. These are some of the applications of UV visible spectroscopy. Okay, that actually more interest to the chemist. As you are analytical scientist, you are all analytical scientists, wherein you design the principles of instrumentation. Okay, so analytical scientist is one who designs these type of instruments. Okay, fine. Okay, so that's the end of the class. Hope you enjoyed. We'll have some more activities in the next class. Thank you. Magichi.